Welcome to the Career Refresh Podcast. I'm your host, Jill Griffin. Join me each week as we discuss the strategies to reset your career with actionable steps towards a finer future. I've spent my career working my way up and through the ranks of global organizations and startups. Today, I show others how to do the same. I'm on a mission to help professionals everywhere learn how to refresh and manage their minds so they can thrive in their careers. Ready? Let's do it. Hey there, I'm Jill Griffin, and this is the Career Refresh Podcast. I'm a former media and marketing executive turned career strategist and strengths coach. I spent my career working my way up and through the ranks of global organizations and startups. And today, I show others how to do the same. Join me each week as we discuss the strategies to leverage your strengths, increase your confidence and visibility, and reset your career with actionable steps towards a finer future. Ready? Let's do it. Hey there. Welcome back to the Career Refresh Podcast. I'm your host, Jill Griffin. This week, it's about gratitude, folks. I'm going to keep it short and sweet, but still fill you up with actionable tips. And as many Americans will be celebrating Thanksgiving, talk of gratitude is going to be all around us. And this time of year can kick off lots of thoughts of cozy holiday festivities and feelings. But it's also important to remember that many of us are still working through a high level of uncertainty due to the COVID pandemic. Before you shrug and say, I'm just not feeling it this year, I want to talk about why it's hard to feel grateful sometimes, and also talk about some benefits of gratitude and offer you some tips to how to cultivate gratitude in your life beyond just having a gratitude list or a gratitude journal. So why does feeling gratitude, and with this national holiday of Thanksgiving coming up, feel so hard and challenging to formulate and cultivate appreciation and gratitude in our lives? Well, it tends to come from three main reasons. One, we are hardwired for a negative bias. Evolutionary biology, my friends, it is here to protect us, and we can find ourselves giving greater weight to what could go wrong versus what could go right. It kind of lends itself to some of that all or nothing thinking. I did a podcast on that a few months ago, and I'm going to put that link in the show notes. Don't use this against yourself. The second reason is it's a classic compare and despair. We are comparing our colleagues' outsides to our insides. And then we're on social media and we're seeing that everyone is doing great. They're celebrating things. We scroll through LinkedIn. We see that people are getting promotions and new jobs. And all of this skews our reality. There's a recent study of college undergrads that found that those who limit their social media to 30 minutes each day felt significantly better after a 3-week period of this study. I know many clients, including myself, have removed various social media apps from our phones. Therefore, when we go to actually check social media, it's on our desktop and it's a more conscious decision versus just aimlessly scrolling through social media and getting constant hit with that compare and despair. The third reason is the pressure. We feel pressure to be successful. Whether you want to call it presenteeism or performative workaholism, there's a constant grind and a constant eye towards the future, and it really makes it harder to feel content with the present. Positive psychology research tells us that gratitude is strongly and consistently associated with greater happiness. When people feel more gratitude, they feel more positive emotions. They tend to relish good experiences and thoughts and feelings. This in turn improves their health, enables them to deal with adversity and challenges, and ultimately helps them build stronger relationships. Gratitude is a way for people to appreciate what they have instead of always reaching for that something more, that constant need. That's that dopamine we've talked about, folks. That's the anticipation that I need. But because we don't complete the reward cycle, the celebration and the gratitude cycle, we're always wanting and needing more. This leads us to overconsumption of food, alcohol, social media, and behaviors that are not necessarily helpful to getting us to the goals and the things that we want. When we appreciate what we have, we're able to accept and feel that. And it does help us from that constant want for more. What you focus on increases, and gratitude helps people refocus on what they have instead of what they lack. Okay, so it may feel contrived at first, but a state of gratitude and appreciation grows stronger with use and practice. So maybe gratitude isn't your default setting, but fostering this sense of appreciation is linked to these benefits of lower stress, increased mental resilience, and increasing your self-esteem. So here are some simple tools that you can do and use to cultivate gratitude on a regular basis. First, and one of my favorites, write thank you notes. I buy thank you cards in advance, so I always have them on hand, and I go old school. There's something I think that's just super pleasant and like even delicious about getting a card in the mail with a handwritten note from a friend or a client thanking me. And I love to give that happiness to somebody else. You make yourself happier when you nurture relationships with other people. Sending an email works great too, but really expressing your enjoyment and your appreciation for that other person's impact on your life is huge. So make a habit of sending at least one gratitude letter a month. And once in a while, write one for yourself. I also would suggest that when you receive gratitude or thank you notes, even if they're text messages, take screenshots and save them. I have a folder called thank yous. And on any day when I'm feeling a little bit overwhelmed or a little bit like, ugh, gosh, here we go again, I go into that folder and I remind myself of all the good that I'm creating in this world and the good that I've created for myself and my family. And that really shifts me into a place very quickly of gratitude. The next is thanking someone mentally. If you don't have time to write, or for some reason the person maybe isn't available, or maybe they're not even living anymore, this idea of taking a moment to pause and think about something that someone has done nice for you and mentally thanking the individual is huge, has a huge impact, again, of creating those warm feelings, those cozy feelings of feeling appreciation and gratitude. Next, I want you to do a gratitude evaluation. If you've been listening for a while, you know that I love to do evaluations. Thinking about, looking at what you've done, how are you proud of it? How are you resourceful in creating it? How are you resilient in creating this? What were your biggest learnings? What was the most helpful thought? What was the most helpful way that you went about this and created this success for yourself? Looking at what worked, what didn't work, what you might do differently is a way of creating a gratitude evaluation. The next one is one of my favorite and most powerful tools that I have been using for about 20 years, and I call it a God box and a gratitude box. And if the word God doesn't feel right for you, call it source, call it universe, call it your higher self, whatever works for you, but listen to the exercise. So one, when I want something, or I'm shooting for something or striving for a goal, I put it in my God box or my higher self box. I have a physical box. And then when I've achieved it or it's been realized, I move that piece of paper from the God or the higher self box into the gratitude box. And why do I do that? Because that gratitude box is overflowing with notes and pieces of paper of all the things that have been given to me or that I have achieved. So if I ever think things aren't working out, I just open that gratitude box and there are all those little bits and pieces of paper of all the things that I was hoping for or working towards that have now been completed. And it's such an important visual and physical reminder that there is a lot of things to be grateful for in our lives. And the last one is to meditate. I am a certified meditation instructor. I've been meditating at this point for over 25 years. I don't do it every day, although I strive to, but I would say that I strive and hit somewhere between 5 and 6 days a week. And sometimes I even do it twice a day. This has been a game changer for me. Meditation involves focusing on the present moment without any judgment. And though some people might want to focus on a word or listen to some music, you can use a word like peace or love and just say it repeatedly. Some people count. There's lots of different ways to meditate. I do have a free meditation that I can also put in the show notes for you if that's helpful. And really, it's just focusing on what you're grateful for. And it can be anything from the sun to your bed to the people in your lives. It's what you focus on increases, and it's finding that place of gratitude in your life. So I would love to hear from you what you do to cultivate appreciation and gratitude in your life. Let me know. I'll put how to contact me in the show notes. Okay, friends, who are you getting your support from? I would love to support you. I am launching a career strengths group program that will help you leverage your strengths, increase your confidence and visibility, and help create what's next for you. I'll put that link also in the show notes so you can get on the information list as that program launches. Have a great week. If you're celebrating Thanksgiving, have a beautiful holiday, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for listening to the Career Refresh podcast. If you're enjoying this podcast and you want more career and mindset tips, get on my email list by going to jillgriffincoaching.com. I'll also put that link in the show notes. But before you go, please rate and review this podcast as it helps me get the word out to people everywhere so they can also thrive in the workplace. I'll see you next time. Hey, thanks for listening to the Career Refresh podcast. If you're enjoying this podcast and you want more career and mindset tips, get on my email list by going to jillgriffincoaching.com. I'll also put that link in the show notes. But before you go, please rate and review this podcast as it helps me get the word out to people everywhere so they can thrive in the workplace. I'll see you next time.